Nebraska is vast, mostly rural. Services can be tough, limited, especially healthcare. Small facilities running on shoestring budgets, providing so much to so few. In the southwest corner of the state, near the Colorado-Kansas borders, is the tiny town of Binkelman. Population less than 900. One of the biggest employers, the Dundee County Hospital.
I mean, my parents lived here close. Our town is just like one big family.
Rita Jones is the CEO.
Some people look at us and they think that, we're not a big facility, but we're a great doorway to large facilities.
The hospital has a small staff, over 20 nurses, 2 doctors, 2 nurse practitioners. Most live in the community.
You're being taken care of by your neighbors and your friends when you're in the rural healthcare system.
The facility itself is small.
That's my lovely nurses working their hearts away.
Lycan Verbus is the chief nursing officer.
My girls will tell you they do it all. It's very stressful, but I hope very rewarding in the end.
Small hospitals like this do what they can with what they have. It's tough, from funding to recruiting.
A lot of people are like, oh, we're not going to work. We want to go somewhere big where they do lots of stuff. And here you get it all. You get to see babies. You get to see people in their last minutes.
The nearest comparable facility is 38 miles away. A much larger hospital is even harder to get to. It's about a 50-minute helicopter ride to Denver. Like so many rural facilities, it's a struggle to stay afloat. This year, it's operating at just over 1% in the black. Jones says changes brought on by the Affordable Care Act saw around $350 million in cuts to hospitals and physicians to pay for expanded care under the new law, as well as the federal government sequestration, which caused a 2% cut across the entire federal budget.
They're just taking little whacks at it, and it's not a good thing. If they continue, there will be a lot of small facilities that do not survive.
She pays close attention to what's happening on the national stage, knowing funding or regulations can change, and change quickly.
The previous 4 years, we have lost ground significantly. We've lost probably about $300,000 a year on our balance sheet.
According to the Nebraska Rural Health Association, there's 71 rural health facilities in the state. 39 are running on an operating margin of just around 2%. 29 are running in the red. The Dundee County Hospital is managing to stay afloat, thanks to donations from local companies and the county. It's even expanding. This $3.8 million project is entirely funded by donations. While the facility is fighting to stay in the black, changes could be right around the corner.
Some days you just have to be happy that you're holding ground and that you're able to keep the services. It's wonderful when you can grow, but sometimes you just have to be happy holding ground.
The Army Corps of Engineers have not changed their battle plan with the levee system since 2004. And a lot of politicians in Iowa, Nebraska, and farmers as well say this latest plan only leads to disaster. The Missouri River is vital to our area for those who live near it and farm, to wildlife like migrating birds, fish. They all have their role, and the Corps of Engineers have to try to balance all of this. But with the latest flood, there's calls for drastic change.
We've got miles and miles of these roads, and it's going to take weeks to fix this road.
Farmer and Fremont County Supervisor Dustin Sheldon points out an all too common sight. Fields turned to lakes, and infrastructure damaged or destroyed.
It's to the point now where it's serious. It's extremely serious because it's going to make the Missouri River bottom farmer an extinct person too.
In the 1990s, the Army Corps of Engineers added the restoration of wildlife preserves and the creation of new sanctuaries to their to-do list. Critics claim over time this has slowed the river, building up sediment, making the river more shallow and wider. And farmers say the result is fast-moving floodwaters hitting with little to no warning, pointing out that this latest event is a prime example.
The ecosystems they've destroyed from flooding like this, nothing's working. Nobody's getting any benefit out of this.
Protection of life and personal property.
At a recent hearing, Midwest lawmakers called on the Corps to change their priorities.
But it needs to be protection of human life. Flood control needs to be number one. Life and safety issues.
We also feel that that better control of the existing dams would be a step in the right direction.
Putting wildlife on the back burner.
While it's very important, I will not disagree with that, but is it more important than the life and safety of human beings, their livelihoods? I would say that no, it's not.
We never sought to impinge flood control or any of the other authorized purposes that the Corps has, and we think that it's really important that we evaluate the cause of these things and then work together collaboratively to find solutions.
Casey Cruz is with Fish and Wildlife.
We think that sustainability of the river can include all of the authorized purposes, and we look forward to being involved with the basin and with the Corps.
The priority right now is getting flood relief flowing, help those in need, get life back to normal. The Corps does have a plan to revisit its priorities, but this might take some time. For any changes to the master manual, it takes an act of Congress. State, local, federal, and tribal entities will have to find common ground, a way to create a balance, preserving nature as well as the livelihoods and lives of those who live near the Missouri River.
Just change a few things here and there. We're not asking for the world, but we just want to be able to farm our ground and not flood out and cost everybody their livelihood.
Jeff Van Sant, 3 News Now.
Head back to G1, look at our main growing area.
Justin Woods drives us in a golf cart, employees on bikes. Transportation is a necessity.
This property is about 1.8 million square feet.
You've never shopped at Dallas Johnson Greenhouses, but you may very well be a customer of their customers.
This is our poinsettia crop right here. This is our Black Friday offering.
That's funny because their 2 customers are Lowe's and Menards.
So is that a Black Friday special for one of
These
the stores?
these are Black Friday specials for one of the stores, yes.
60,000 of these poinsettias shipping this week, a total of 250,000 by season's end.
The Council Bluffs-based business grows a variety of annuals, perennials, vegetables, herbs, and seasonal favorites like mums, Easter lilies, and poinsettias.
The points end up at Lowe's and Menards stores in Iowa, Nebraska, Wyoming, South Dakota, Minnesota, Illinois, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri. Most are prestige red, but not all. They grow a dozen different varieties in as many as 20 sizes.
That hot pink is way up front. Clear white. Sparkling punch, a sister or brother to ice punch.
Once the poinsettias get this big, they have to be watered from the ground up. Not the only things growing. Interest in gardening has changed through the pandemic.
It was crazy. I mean, it was all that we could do to keep up with the demand as far as we were shipping, 7 days a week.
And challenges continue.
The supply chain issue, it's real.
They've had a tough time getting anything plastic, like pots, and the decorative foil that goes around the pots. Even during normal times, planting requires great care. Growing and transplanting, water and sunlight, choreographing it all so the plants pop at the right time. Wood says everyone at this family-owned company works in sync.
And that goes from, the young plants department when we're first sowing seed, to the very last, step of the process is our drivers, making that delivery, making that connection at store level.
I couldn't leave without one more question. Since poinsettia has a few pronunciations, I asked Woods, what does he call this plant?
I say poinsettia. Everybody says it different. Even here, poinsettia, poinsettia, points, those are the 3.
The Oakview Mall is is getting new life
In the morning, we get a really good rush of like the mall walkers.
thanks to an old favorite.
But you can't go wrong with a hot dog.
Chicago Dog 42 owners Troy and Catherine Gaines believe there's something special about a good hot dog.
So whether it's a hockey game or a basketball or football or baseball, no matter what you do, there's hot dogs everywhere.
3 months ago, they started selling their delicious dogs here. But it's not just about the Franks.
Vintage signage, everything is to try to take you, kind of transport you out of Omaha and back to old school Chicago.
From the music to the decor, this is an experience.
It's like a nice soda fountain kind of feel.
It all starts in the kitchen.
Got the hot dog.
Catherine is a veteran hot dog maker.
I've been eating hot dogs my whole life.
Her dad has owned a Chicago dog shop since the 70s, so they use his recipes.
We have a total of 19 items on our menu. The Chicago dog is our signature.
So you start with pickle.
The Chicago dog also comes with tomatoes, relish, onions, sport peppers, mustard, and celery salt.
So it's a lot of stuff that comes on it, but everything that's on it really it complements each other.
2 must-haves for a true Chicago dog, a warm poppy seed bun, and Vienna beef.
It's the best hot dog you'll ever eat.
Not a hot dog fan? No problem.
I tell everyone you think the Chicago dog is the star of the show, but the Italian beef is the best thing on the menu. Thinly sliced roast beef on French bread.
The Italian beef sandwich is made Chicago style too.
We wet the bread a little bit, and then we put the roast beef in the bread. Literally just dip the sandwich in the au jus.
It's loaded with the veggie mixture and hot oil.
And this is the showstopper. Oh yeah, hands down.
If that's the showstopper, the desserts are the grand finale.
So I think it's kind of crazy. Sometimes we sell more milkshakes than we do hot dogs.
This fall, they're making pumpkin pie milkshakes.
So it literally tastes like eating a piece of pumpkin pie.
Troy says the pumpkin pie
This is the actual pumpkin pie.
is infused right into the ice cream. The result? Pumpkin perfection.
This is amazing. When I clap, it means I like it.
Okay, good.
I'm not the only one impressed.
I can't take. Hi there. Doing great. How are you doing?
Chicago Dog 42 is bringing foot traffic back to the mall.
I think we've done way better than we thought we would. The excitement in the community, especially since there isn't another Chicago-style hot dog restaurant around. People have come in, they've been able to see what we do.
He says what they do is simple. Focus on quality, serve fresh food,
Even down to the french fries, nothing is frozen.
and bring a taste of Chicago right here to Omaha. In Omaha, Cerise Colt, 3 News Now.
Okay, what can I get you guys?
There's nothing sweeter
Happy College World Series! Yay!
than Omaha in June.
A vanilla cone?
For a lot of fans like Rick Wilhite,
All right, that comes to $14.81.
coming to the College World Series is tradition.
This will be my 33rd year.
And while you're in town,
Those shakes will be right out, guys.
chances are you'll satisfy your sweet tooth.
Going to Zestos.
Reese's Astro.
That's what you do.
A year after the CWS moved downtown, decades-old Zesto followed suit and sits adjacent to the Blad.
Any talks of expanding, or is this your spot? This is it.
It's cramped quarters for manager Brandy Wolin and her employees.
Right, I think we counted that it's like 10 by 10.
But even in the chaos of a mad rush,
Come with sprinkles, Oreo Astro, regular strawberry.
this team doesn't melt under pressure.
It's crazy how long people can wait for an ice cream cone. Twist cone. Twist cone. Twist cone. You just have like a little station and you stay to your station. You just move and pivot in that location.
During the 2017 CWS, they sold 5,000 cones. This year, during opening weekend, Zesto cranked out 1,500. They never seem to get a bad review.
It tasted really good.
Loved it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think you might think it's pretty good.
And each year, new fans jump on the Zesto bandwagon.
This is breakfast, actually.
During this trip, Wilhite brought his grandkids from Minnesota.
Give it a letter grade.
He hopes to pass on his tradition
A+.
of Zesto and college baseball.
Sir, vanilla cone?
Emily Zink,
You're welcome.
3 News Now.
And we are doing our own unscientific test in the middle of the afternoon rush.
That's no phones, no tablets.
And no TVs. In fact, she says keep all of them out of your child's room so they can't use them when they should be sleeping.
Candy hopes whoever locates the memory card or the camera will be able to identify photos like these.
Doctors say when it comes to your kids and good sleep, you need to watch all this screen time. See, these devices emit a blue light, and that actually keeps people awake. The best advice, turn off your TVs, tablets, and phones 1 to 2 hours before bedtime and keep them off.
It's a busy night here in downtown Omaha with Bud Crawford's Celebrity Fight Night at the Omaha Design Center. Plus Sugarland here at the CenturyLink Center. And of course, the deciding game of the College World Series.